Meantime, local Venezuelans are sharing a different opinion on Maduro's capture. We spoke with multiple LA residents who lived in Venezuela on why they prefer uncertainty over the country's future compared to Maduro's rule.
It is uncertain, but it is, even whatever happens, it's gonna be better than what it was. That's what everybody's thinking. Like, nothing can be worse than what they were going through before this happened. So now we have Maria Corina Machado. Everybody has their trust in her, and she's doing great. Like, she just got the Nobel Peace Prize, and she just keeps going, and she is actually doing what she promised. She said, I'm gonna help Venezuela become free. And we see it. Like, it's not just words, we see actions.
I think it was the only option that we really had, since Venezuelan people were not allowed to own guns and protect themselves, and we couldn't really fight against them, against the regime in Venezuela. So the only option was intervention from the U.S. So we really support what Donald Trump has done.
Why we are so happy? Because we've been in jail for so many years. We've been in this country, my country in Venezuela, can you imagine, there's no food, he controls everything. We be controlled by these people, not only him, Diosdado Cabello, and everybody is around him. We cry because now somebody do something. This president is the first president. They do something. We don't know what is going to happen, but at least this is the first step. It's hope for every Venezuelan. This is a hope.
Well, those are just the words and opinions of a few local Venezuelans living here in Los Angeles. They expressed optimism about what happened in their native country and what it means for the country's future. But we also spoke to Professor Miguel Tinker Salas from Pomona College. He is also a Venezuelan historian. Here's what he had to say about what occurred.
I think there's a big distinction between those who are supporting Maduro and those who are against U.S. intervention. There's a strong tendency in Venezuela, a strong trend, a strong position in Venezuela to be critical of Maduro, to want his ouster, but to be against the U.S. intervention. This creates a wound in Venezuelan society that will not heal overnight. This was an armed invasion of a country. Let's not mince words about it. The president can call it whatever he wants. This was an armed invasion of a foreign country by U.S. military forces. They can kidnap a president, but they don't control a country. And the real issue here is what will be the future of Venezuela and what is best for Venezuelans. Once the party's over, what happens to the country? What happens to the people? What happens to its resources? Who controls them, right? Venezuela has the largest deposit of oil in the world. I was saying for a long time, this was not about oil. It turns out I was wrong. Trump proved me wrong. It is about oil. It is about power. It is about U.S. hegemony. It is about keeping Russia and China out. And that's what this is about.
A lot of geopolitical uncertainty this afternoon and concerns about what happens in the so-called day after.
Right. Who's going to control the oil? And President Trump mentioned he wants it to be the U.S. and U.S. billionaires who are going to come in there and take over, rebuild the infrastructure, and do, he has mentioned in the past the U.S. being kicked out, ExxonMobil getting kicked out of Venezuela as they privatized, as they opened up private business. The government took over the oil industry decades ago, and President Trump obviously upset. You heard him say, you can kidnap a president. So that's how that historian is terming this. The president, the United States, has kidnapped the president of Venezuela. Now, there is some question about Maria Corina Machado. She, by all accounts, won the election in Venezuela. Maduro negated the results. She has fled the country. She is not in Venezuela as of now. By most accounts, you heard those native Venezuelans. They want to see Machado come back and take over and run their country. President Trump today said, quote, I think it'd be very tough for her to be the leader. She doesn't have the support or the respect within the country. She's a very nice woman, but she doesn't have the respect.
We should also note that she won the Nobel Peace Prize for her efforts for her opposition efforts in Venezuela.
Right. So again, we'll see how this plays out. As that historian notes, and many others are saying, it is about the oil. This isn't about the drugs. This isn't about humanitarian efforts. It's going to be who controls the oil. We'll see what President Trump and the oil companies, the U.S. oil companies, do moving forward.